Hello princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today I have the pleasure of reviewing the much anticipated new Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette. This, of course, the latest in the Naked Eyeshadow Palette series from Urban Decay, which we know, of course, through the years has become rather a brand within a brand for Urban Decay. And here is the latest one. We are going to look at swatches in different lighting and do a little bit of interesting comparisons, plus a demo on how I achieved, spoiler alert, this look that I'm wearing right now. Now, depending upon when and where you are watching this video, this palette may or may not have been released where you are just yet. I know it's released, I believe, in New Zealand and definitely in parts of Europe where I got mine, but if you are in North America, Mexico, United States, Canada, it is coming out on the app, I believe, if you can sign up for that, on the 21st of September, and then on the website on the 22nd of September. So if you are in North America, depending upon when you're watching this, you're probably very close to being able to order it. So the first thing I want to do is let's look at the case itself, which, you know, they do such fun things with over at Urban Decay, and this is certainly a pretty one. It is very cyber. Let's take a look at it first in the pan. I'll try to get this mirror out of the way, but do take a look at it in the pan so you can kind of see what that looks like, and I'll give it time to adjust. We have 12 neutral shimmers and a bunch of really cool duochromes in there for you to take a look at, which, like I said, I am going to show you in different lighting. So if the studio lighting makes it a little bit too bright, you will have a chance to see that elsewhere as well. These are very, very subtle shades. When I go in a moment here to the swatches on my arm, I want you to know, especially because they blended in with my skin tone, I did the left side of the palette. Look, as you guys know, let me just go off track for a second here. These lighter shades progressing into more and more color is, of course, how Urban Decay does their naked palettes. And the lighter shades here were so similar to my skin tone that I definitely swatched those 3 or 4 times for maximum impact. All of the others had 1, just so you know. Here it is in the studio lighting on my arm. So do take a look at those there, and let's read off the shade names together. From left to right, we have AI, Metadata, Virtual, Electrode, 4th over, Cyberspace, a very cool duochrome, Gadget, Call IT, next is Not a Bot, then Static, 3rd from last is Y3K, Override, and that darkest shade all the way over is called Byte, B-Y-T-E, because this is kind of the technology one. Let's take a look at it in the California sunshine. It wasn't a particularly sunny day, but I do want you to see what it looks like outside. That is very natural lighting, as natural as I could get in the morning sunshine of Southern California. I took the sound off of it. I probably should have left it on, and maybe will do on my Instagram, because I have some ravens that I feed, and they saw me outside and got really excited and started screaming and cawing for me. So maybe I'll put that on Instagram. It's kind of funny. So take a look at that in the natural light. What I would like to do is talk about what this refers to. You know, when I first got it out, it's really funny. I thought, does it have anything like the Naked Wild West palette? And, you know, actually, let me just take out the Naked palettes come with these brushes that I don't really do anything with. You know, the neutral shades on this side of the palette are actually kind of similar, not quite similar enough, and these are much more matte in the Wild West palette. Other than that, though, the neutrals are similar from palette to palette, all the other shades are not at all. And then I thought, is this like the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette? Oh, goodness no. Goodness no. The Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette is what a lot of people are going to wish this was, meaning wilder colors but super impactful and dark. These are what I'm going to call, and I'll wait for my synopsis at the end for you to hear, but this is almost like as neutral as you can go but still be colorful. As you see, I've done that look now, and what I want to do is I want to go into a demo with nothing on my eyes, and I'm going to use as many of the colors and duochromes as I possibly can to recreate this look and to show you how this palette works, and then we'll talk about why some may love it and some may not, so stay right there. Okay, let's dig in here, and if you're curious about shade choice, don't you worry, I will place that on the screen so that you can follow along at home if any of these shade choices seem interesting to you. So I'm going to start with a Refer 16, which is one of my favorites, and I'm actually going to go into the very first shade here in the palette, a little less shimmery than some others, and just kind of set my concealer with it. It is a very, very pale shade, just probably one shade lighter than my actual skin tone, and it will just give us a little bit, depending on your skin tone, of a palette to work from, or a clean palette, I should say. Okay, using the exact same brush, because why not? I kind of want to, well, I'm going to go into the third shade right over here, but then I kind of want to use a lot of these shimmers and duochromes. I'm just going to put this just in the crease, just to do a little bit, just in swirling motions here, just in the crease, same shade, of course, just to get a little bit of depth, because I do have hooded eyes. So I'm going to do that and just get a little bit of depth first, and then we're going to start playing a little bit more, and I'm using that big brush to just kind of take that shade underneath. Okay, let's really, now let's have a little bit of fun here. Let's go in and use this shade right here. Now this is kind of a shimmer shade. This is a What's Up Beauty goat hair brush, one of my indie brands that I support. And I am going to take this shade, which is a definite shimmer shade, and just kind of paint it on the lid and the crease. Why not? I'm just kind of having fun. None of this is planned out. Again, just painting this on the lid and the crease. Now, of course, those of you who are new to my channel, hello and nice to meet you. You might wonder why I would do something like that in the crease with hooded eyes. As long as it's a little bit darker, it's fine. And I'm going to go over it too. I just kind of want to try out some of these shimmer shades and duochromes, and it's not going to hurt anybody if we don't follow all the rules perfectly. Switching to a much smaller brush, also from What's Up Beauty. I just happened to grab that same shade, and I'm going to go underneath. Okay, so we have an interesting little base. This is a very gentle palette, and I think I might have even mentioned this in the intro. That might upset a lot of people, actually. Let's go in with this Refer brush, the number 2, and really, I want to really pack this onto the lids a little more, and I could for that use my finger, which I will soon, but it's not giving me any sort of fallout or anything like that. It's very, very pretty. But guys, it's really subtle. All right, how about this shade? Because this is interesting. Using the same brush, why not? This is going to definitely cover this. This is this third shade over from the end there. I really want to just go in the corner with that and darken things and see how that looks on the lid. Again, you know, it's like a duochrome and a shimmer. I could easily have used my finger. This is such a subtle palette. I haven't seen other reviews, but I have a feeling that is going to disappoint a lot of people in much the same way that the new Tom Ford quads did. I was just speaking to community member Gina about that. A lot of folks ended up, I'm going to go under the eye with the same shade, just in this corner here. A lot of folks ended up not liking the subtleness of those two new Tom Ford palettes, if you know what I'm talking about, guys. The rose and the kind of denim one. And I can see that here too, but I really do now. I'm really starting to see much more life and depth now that I've added that in. All right, let me go ahead. Let's just have some fun here and go in with my finger on this very kind of crazy blue shade and just kind of see what happens if I just put a little of that just in the center. That's really pretty, isn't it? But very, very subtle. Now that is kind of the point though of this palette. This is not supposed to be any kind of crazy. Let's use a new Refer brush and go in here, 5 shades over from the end, and just kind of get something right there in the corner. This is a really pretty look. It's not going to appeal to everyone though, I can tell you that right now. And I really also, I don't have purposefully any highlighter on today because I thought, like I saw some of the models in the promo photos wearing it as highlighter. So let's do that. And let's go with this kind of a blue shade here, this duochrome, in with my Sonia G brush. And let's just paint that there. It's kind of fun. See what we get here as a highlight. And I'll zoom in so you guys can see if you think it works. It's a little dark for a highlighter, but it's fun. I mean, why not, right? It's just powder. I don't know, it's definitely what I would use every day for a highlighter. And like I said, that duochrome shift is a little dark for a highlighter, but I just thought we would have a little bit of fun. Obviously, I need some mascara and I need some eyeliner, so let's put that on and then let's talk about this. We have a few things to mention here. Okay, let me see if I can adequately zoom you in here to see what I've done. I have added in Pat McGrath Labs Blitz Blue eyeliner, just because I think it needed a little bit of depth, but black would have been too harsh. It's a really kind of a dark blue, and we've used so many shades and so many of the duochrome shades. Okay, so let's talk about this palette. As I said, I think there's a lot of people that will feel it doesn't have enough impact and that more could have been done. Certainly with the color story, they'll say, and I'll understand that. I like it because I don't really like, I'm kind of a neutral person, so for me, the Urban Decay Naked palette series is really supposed to be neutral shades. And so to me, this is about as neutral as you can go with this kind of a color story because it is so subtle. For me, it is very pretty, very gentle, and very feminine, and I appreciate it. But trust me, I will understand if you feel it should have been more impactful. There is certainly a difference in the building because by the time we get to this end shade here, which we did not do, that is definitely a very powerful shade. And though many would say it balances out the palette, others will, I'm sure, say that they needed a few more really, really dark, powerful shades. And I could see that criticism. For me, it is colorful and yet neutral at the same time, and it is a good way for somebody like me, and if you're like me, who likes those real kind of earth tone neutrals, to be able to do color. As you see, I used so many of the shades in the palette, and I think still got a very everyday wearable look. But we're gonna see as people start to review this more and more, and I really wanna know what you guys think. Is this what you thought this palette would look like? Please tell me below. As you saw, I just had a little bit of fun using one of the shades as a highlighter. Probably not the best choice, as the duochrome is a little bit darker, but I think it's kind of fun and cybery, space age. So really interested for your comments. Do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.